to another episode. Please like and subscribe if you like the video, and leave a comment if you want to comment on what I say, because it's going to be some crazy shit. You're going to have some comments to talk about. Welcome. We're here in Gillette, the water town. Oh shit, my alarm. It's 8 o'clock right now. In the morning, we're in Gillette, and today what we're doing in between part 2.1 is we're doing the item bag expansion quest. I recommend, guys, you don't need to do this in version 1, but definitely once you get to 2.1 and get the Mega Zoom Stone, I'd say go ahead and capitalize on this quest. It's pretty easy to do. Once you have that, it's a lot easier than traveling around without it. And I'll give a little story spoilers as we begin here for today for this quest. We're just doing 3 of the line here and get our item bag expanded up to 60. So basically, we're gonna double our expansion size, and there are about 6 of these, I believe. You can get up to 100 or 90 or something like that right now. So we'll get the rest later. But for now, these 3 quests just tell the tale of Toto. Toto is the tote guy, and basically he makes the tote bags. He's a little kid because his dad is off adventuring, making bags for all the good people. And we don't know where he is right now. But at the end of this quest lines here, we're basically gathering things for him, delivering things for him. And at the end of the gathering and delivering trail this time, we're gonna figure out that his dad actually died a horrible demise, trying to create a new type of bag. So we'll learn about that later. Right now, we're just going to collect some things and help him with his quest along there. And I will get into our topics of today. Oh boy, our topics of today. I really don't feel like talking about anything. So what I'm going to do is talk about the people that you should stay away from. Because me not wanting to talk, I feel like relates to me not wanting to be around people in general. So, because of that, I feel like I should go over these so that you know the people that you should actually stay away from relationship wise. And so you're not like me and you have to stay away from literally everyone because you can't tell. Your internal clock is off and you're just in introverted mode at all times. This is what happens, guys, when you give too much. You give too much and you don't advocate for yourself. See, the thing is, one person can't really just, freely, give all his will off to someone else without advocating for his own needs. You know what I'm saying? Even if you think you don't have needs, we all really have needs. You just don't really know how to communicate them to other people. And that's okay. We're learning. We're learning. So, with that in mind, your needs need to be communicated. But to these specific people that I'm, mentioning, don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Once you figure out if they have one of these traits, move aside. You know what I'm saying? Step aside because there's something better in my future waiting for me other than you? And sometimes you just have to realize that it's going to be really hard to destroy them, to excommunicate them from your life. But in the end, you'll grow a little bit. You'll grow a little bit and you'll grow into the person you actually want to be instead of whatever they're trying to morph you into, whatever compromise you have to go into yourself in order to make them happy. Right? Right? So the first kind of person we're talking about today is the person with pair bonding problems. So, pair bonding problems. What do I mean by pair bonding problems? It's kind of like a little bit of a buzzword, but essentially, you know that spark you get, that feeling you get when you're around certain people where you just sort of like connect together like a puzzle piece. The communication is solid. You don't really need to explain a whole lot. You start finishing each other's sandwiches, all that kind of shit. The pair bonding. And sometimes people aren't complicit in it per se. It's not their fault, and it's not their fault because not everybody can, bond with everybody equally. But if you're sensing a lot of like argumentative nature, a lot of just non-chemistry, it's not worth it. Life is really short, actually. It feels long, but it's actually really short. And it's not worth it to spend our time compromising and trying to make something work that just doesn't naturally. There are so many people on this world, so many people on this earth. Honestly, guys, sometimes you just have to talk to them. I mean, we see so many people daily, and no, you don't talk to any of them. And I know we're in America, and most people don't want to talk to people, so it makes it a little bit harder sometimes. But if you come in there with a general positive attitude, and all you want is to just push your positive attitude out to people, you don't have any, underlining objectives or anything like that. You're just here to push positivity on people, see if you like them, and see where it goes. Then I feel like if you're attractive, that's of course the giant asterisk on there. If you're attractive, things can't go wrong. But see, the thing is, a lot of guys don't do the effort to put that work in themselves. And then a lot of the guys that do this, step out and let me just talk to girls thing, are weird, confident creeps. But they're confident in their creep because they've done it for so long. So you don't have to be a creep. You don't have to be this confident ass, arrogant asshole. You just have to be yourself and want to make a positive impact on people. See, the girls are very perceptive. They're very perceptive, sneaky, and they're gonna tell if you have any underlining objective behind just getting to know them. They're gonna be able to tell right off the bat. So coming in pure can be hard, but what's really easy to do, and this is kind of like a cheat code, is to do it around some ugly bitches first. Talk to some ugly girls that you actually don't want anything from first. And then that'll make it easier to just sort of give that same energy to the hot girls that you actually want to be involved with. But that's my one advice. The pair bonding problems, dude, when people don't interact with you the way you like, you're saying like, oh man, I had a girlfriend and she didn't talk to me like this before. Just fucking move on, man. So many people are tired of being alone. Or I'm sorry, not tired. Tired of being alone, true, but scared of being alone. Being alone is not scary. What's being alone? What's scary is being alone and not accepting yourself. Not fully loving yourself. Not fully embodying your God within and doing what the fuck you want and acting like some girl that isn't even yours is dictating your life. Or guy. Whatever you say. So don't worry about it. If the pair bonding problems aren't good, just stay away. Be in your own energy. Be in your own strength. The next thing we have here is many past sexual partners. And I know what all you guys are gonna say. Oh, he's red pill. Oh, he's fucking a degenerate motherfucker. How are we supposed to listen to him? He's probably fucked 8,000 bitches. First of all, it's not true. I'm only in the double digits, which I think is still bad. But many past sexual partners, 4 girls, basically means that the whole pair bonding thing, you know what I'm saying? They have too much to compare to. And I'm sorry, that is just naturally what females do. They compare, they hypergamize. They're always going to look for the better thing. So imagine if she had one past guy who was just slightly better than you in one area, you're fucked. You're fucked because now she's experienced the better thing in that area, and you're going to be expected to eventually make up the little space there, or someone is. So the thing is, the more past sexual partners there are, also here, I'm just standing around because we have to wait 5 minutes in game time. Okay, now I'm sitting around. But anyways, we have to wait 5 minutes in game time in order for him to make the bag. So I'm just gonna, chill out for a little bit here. We have to do this a couple of times during the mission, so we're gonna take a nap. Anyways, many past sexual partners, it's gonna put you at a deficit. It's kind of like when a girl has a kid. You don't want to play on someone else's save file. And basically she's starting New Game Plus with you. And after a couple New Game Pluses, you start to know the storyline, and you start to know all this shit, and you start skipping cutscenes. Bro, she's gonna start skipping cutscenes on your ass like the daylights, you know what I'm saying? So just think about it that way. She's played a lot of video games. Sometimes she beat them, sometimes she didn't. But a New Game Plus is upon you, so you have to interact with it that way. You know what I'm saying? There's already data from this file, and that data is definitely being used. Of course, it's not being told to you, but it's definitely fucking being used. So please, 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 people, let's be a little bit aware I'm not saying, immediately dictate the question and be like, how many times you fuck guys? Don't do that, right? Let's chill out on that front. But what you can do is look for behaviors. It's very easy to tell how a 304 behaves, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't know how to flirt in many other, ways than just doing what they do, right? So it's very easy to tell. Usually they'll do things like physical touch a lot. Of course they'll do the natural laugh at your jokes, but if you notice, this person's not even with you and they're already doing a lot of physical touches. If you notice this person maybe dresses a little bit differently than the other girls, maybe a little bit more provocatively usually, showing off the curves a little bit more. That's something to note. But once again, we can never truly judge the book by its cover. Of course, the cover is going to tell us a lot about it, but you can't tell everything. So assumptions make an ass out of you and me. I'm just telling you, we have to be sneaky like girls. We have to find our information in other ways. Just find the way the 304 acts. We all know how they act because we've all probably fucked one. So just look at that person that you bucked before and see how they act. Okay, so it's not too crazy of a statement to say that if you have a lot in the past, having one is hard to cope with. That's where I'm gonna leave that. Anyways, what we're saying here next is you have to stay away from bad habits and impulsive behavior. Yes, yes, yes. See, guys, I'm the kind of guy that if I make a date for you and you can't do it because it is in 2 days and you have to do this one thing and then we plan it and whatever, blah, 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 blah. So it takes a while to plan, essentially. And then I finally plan it. And then, you don't respond until the day of. And then you're like, oh man, I don't know, man. I'm sorry, I can't really make it. Or I can't really. Or sometimes I've been doing this too now, and I think it's hella toxic, but I really don't give a fuck. If I plan something and you haven't talked to me like at all for like 2 days and it's the day of, I'm probably just gonna like block you, cancel you, get you out of it. I'm probably gonna cancel it the morning, of that day. Be like, yeah, nah, you haven't confirmed yet. This isn't real. This isn't real. I'm not going to disappoint myself. So, morning of, I'm probably going to be like, Zoop! Jump out. I've done it before multiple times. Because the dating scene is cutthroat nowadays, especially for older guys, Gen Z guys. Basically, anybody dating in college or above that. It's bad. High school is probably still about the same. I'd say get your straps in, get your work in while you can. But once you make it out here, man, oh my god, it's cutthroat. It's fucking terrible. So you have to be as disgusting as these women are nowadays. And the hypergamy is strong within us. Strong within us. You find someone with more money, you're probably fucked. You know what I'm saying? You find someone taller, you're probably fucked. You know what I'm saying? You find someone that, you know what I'm saying? The hypergamy is strong, so you can't really get within that. You have to be okay with pushing what you don't want away and letting what you do want come into your life. A lot of people aren't okay with that nowadays. I was not. I was definitely not. Because I was a very giving, accepting individual. If you like me, of course I'm going to give you a chance. No matter who you are, you like me, you gave me that consideration. But nowadays I'm realizing every juice ain't worth the squeeze, and you know what? This crazy concept of my opinion mattering, my choice mattering. A lot of guys just think, their lives are meaningless because we've been pushed that our entire lives. You know what I'm saying? So why would you not think that? Every girl says, "Oh, we don't need men. We don't need guys." Every time you look at a workplace, all the girls are trying to do everything themselves, and all the guys aren't doing anything at all. And I'm like, oh, is this how we're supposed to be doing things? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird. All the guys don't do nothing. They talk to the girls, and that's pretty much it. They talk to the girls and gossip about the other guys that don't talk shit. But it's just the way the workplace is set up. It's the way the dating market is set up. It's just a very depressing world nowadays. And unless you talk it out with someone, you discuss it with your peers, it's gonna feel weird to navigate through it. So I really do suggest having a friend having an ally in this. But if you can't find an actual reliable one, don't be afraid to talk to yourself. You know what guys do. We create podcasts instead of going to therapy, all that good stuff. We also lag video games. But nevertheless, guys, the bad habits, the impulsive behavior, we have to stay away from it just because it doesn't serve us. The best way to grow is consistency. And the best way to grow with a woman, with anyone else, is also being consistent with them. You don't need this energy of, oh, I'm going to go see this girl, and then she cancels on you. Or you don't need the energy of, oh, I was gonna go work out, or you were gonna work out today, you were gonna cook today, you were gonna clean the house today, and it just didn't get done. Because I was over here smoking weed, or I got another drink for the bar, or whatever. You don't want those bad habits in your life because they're not gonna help you propel forward and grow. And if you're not propelling forward and grow, the relationship is also going to crash and burn and not grow. Um, that's the thing, guys. Relationships are hard. If the trajectory isn't completely correct, you're gonna fail. You're gonna fail for sure. Um, and that just means you have to both be going in the same direction. Like if you're in a relationship and you're both degenerates and you're both going downwards, that could work. That could work, actually. If you're both just sinking lower and lower, you're both, spinning the bottle every now and then, smoking the weed every day, that could go forward. But if one wants to go forward and grow and the other one wants to stay back and be a degenerate, then it won't work. You know what I'm saying? And then if two people are growing, but they're growing in opposite directions, it also won't work. You know what I'm saying? Usually you can't degenerate in a different direction. But I have seen interesting things happen, right? But that's the thing. Bad habits are very hard to kick, just because you have to replace them with good ones. And honestly, guys, it's just me that's saying this, but I wouldn't want to do that work. Maybe you guys want to, help a girl and be her hero. I don't think anybody should willingly do that without the resources to do it. So, and I definitely don't have the resources to do it. As you can clearly see, my YouTube channel has less than 0 views. So it's pretty bad. Um, it's pretty bad out here. No worries though. I will not stop until I'm dead, which maybe pretty soon given things, but nevertheless, we're here now, so we're gonna enjoy it now. What the fuck? Come on, man. Another one. Our next one. We're on number 4 now. Is if they will not submit securely. And oh my goodness, I'm gonna get a bunch of flack from the feminists and the red pillars and probably not the red pillars, but the red pillar haters. Submission, yes, every girl must submit to the man if they're in a relationship. It's why a lot of lesbian relationships fail because both girls are trying to make the other submit, and no one's a man, so it's a little weird. Uh, but yes, everyone has to submit. Sometimes the man submits to the woman, but every relationship, someone has to submit, someone has to be the leader. Right? It's just like a job. It's just like a fucking job, guys. You can't have a job without a boss, without someone you show respect to, and all the respect is honed towards him, and he leads us towards a proper goal. Now, when I say submit securely, what I'm basically talking about is not like not like being insecure, the opposite side of the spectrum. So not doing things that would usurp the submission. Like say I tell you to do something and then you're like, but doing it at this time would be better. Doing it this way would be better, and doing it with this person would be better. So you change around the whole plan without telling me. That is not a secure submission. Or even worse, in my opinion, because, in the other situation, at least it gets done. Not the way I told you to do it, but at least it gets done, right? Or you could ask 8 million questions about the simplest of activity and be like, well, how do we do this? What about this? What about that? What about this? I need you to securely accept and believe the shit I say, which means you have to respect me, which means you have to, think I'm good at what I do, have some admiration for the work that I do, or whatever creative thing process I'm, producing here, because that's what most guys do. They produce something, they create some work of some kind. Buildings, construction, art, over at retail jobs, they fold clothes. making products at Amazon, driving, making the trip, all this stuff. Guys usually are creators, so you have to love what this guy produces and be secure in the fact that he can do it. Bring home the bacon. And a lot of girls, I don't know why. Maybe it's just the world we're living in naturally, that it's just so hard to accept that he can handle it. You know what I'm saying? Like he can handle it. We're all so 50-50 now. Like people think the guys really can't do it on their own. Well, we're figuring it out now. Nowadays that nobody wants to date anymore. We're figuring out, yeah, no, we really can. We really can do it alone. And we will. Um, but if you don't submit securely and you don't believe that, now that you're here, we can't do it and you need my help. Like how does that work? How does that work? What we really need to do is work on helping ourselves, securing ourselves, making sure we can survive on our own without all these help from these outside forces. And I'm saying this for girls too. We have to make sure that we have our own stripes and we know what we're doing in our own life, and we have a flow that works for us before we try to entangle someone else in our bullshit. So that's all it is. It's just bullshit. None of this worldly stuff is actually worth it. It's just bullshit. It's just bullshit. There ain't nothing wrong with bullshit, but it is what it is, man. You gotta call it out like it is. And the truth about it is submitting securely is something that is learned in parenthood. A lot of girls that can't do this didn't have good fathers. And it sucks because the whole non-good father thing is kind of rampant. It's usually the hot girls. Usually the hot girls that are single. Let me correct that. So there are a lot of hot girls that don't have these problems that are not single. So that's the thing. Anyways, we're moving on. Next thing you got to get away from is the inconsistent women. This is kind of goes along with the impulsive behavior, but the inconsistent woman is one who's just doesn't follow up all the time. He's here, she's there, you know what I'm saying? She's a little ghost sometimes. And the reason why you can't be with them, you have to stay away from them. You know what I'm saying? She talks to you for like 2 hours a day for 3 days, and then she's away here for a week. It's because that anxiety of not knowing, where she is, and you shouldn't know where she is because she's her own person. If she don't want to be around you, she don't want to be around you. That's her own choice, right? But as guys, we're the true romantics. So the anxiety of not knowing where she is, she could be hoeing, she could be doing this, she could be, over with some other guy. And I guess I'll go and get into this. It is actually beneficial for you to think that. It's beneficial for you to think that she's with another guy. It's beneficial for you to think if you're not dating the woman and she says, I'm gonna go hang out at this guy's place. She's over here slurping the nuts. She's slurping on the nuts. It's beneficial for you to think that. And you want to know why? Because the anger and the angst and the sadness that builds within you without talking to her, you know what I'm saying? Without crashing out, of course. We're not talking about crashing out, but we're just talking about the mind, right? The anger, the angst, and the anxiety, the energy that builds up within you is actually incredibly powerful. It's one of the most powerful in the world. Truly. That energy, like I want this woman and I know she's at this other guy's house and I don't know what they're doing and I think they are slapping it up, slapping the guns, flapping ball sacks on ass. That energy propels a man forward to do his greatest work, no matter what that is. So I'm actually beneficial. I'm actually very appreciative for the beneficial factor of having the opportunity to have a crush and have that crush go off and do other things that aren't with me. And you should be thankful for that too. But you should not follow the inconsistent woman. It's okay, like we're not gonna stop our feelings. Like, of course, you're gonna have feelings for a person if you talk to them, if you vibe correctly. Sure. We're not going to cancel our feelings. I would never recommend you do that. Now, what I would recommend you do, this is going to be hard for some people, but if you have a crush on someone, to not tell them, to not crash out, not give give away basically your power. You know what I'm saying? People usually overextend in this situation, which is a horrible thing to do because people are afraid to build emotional connection out of a relationship. That's a very vulnerable thing to do, especially when there's no stakes involved. Because a lot of guys just look for the forward, they look for the future where I can be destroyed with this information, or they are the type of guy that destroys others with the information they receive. So you don't want to be either one of those guys, right? Um, which is why a lot of people don't do that. They have to immediately lock the chain before they start building emotional connection. But bro, in my pace, I'm realizing this by myself, by the way, just slowly through making this podcast and making these videos and learning my relationship style. The way I would want a relationship to start is I'd probably want to know this girl for like maybe 2 or 3 years first. Like know her. And I don't mean we have to be friends and hang out every day, because that's just not what I do with anyone. Ever. I don't think I've ever had someone that I hung out with more than like twice in a week. One person. Which is why I have such a long vetting process, because I fucking hate all y'all stupid bitches and dudes. I don't have to immediately put women in there. That was a little rude. I basically let me take that step back. I just hate everybody in the world. Let's just say that. Let's just say that so I'm not as sexist. And because of that, I really don't get along with a lot of people. I just kind of appease them. I kind of put a positive influence on them and move on. Provide a little bit of entertainment like I'm doing for you guys. Tutorialize a little bit. I'm good at that. I'm a pretty good trainer. I have noticed that in a couple of my last jobs, I kind of have to stop myself a little bit because the training process, man, oh man, it's kind of like a moneymaker, you know? If you know how to teach people things, and you do it for free, you're a fucking idiot. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I had to put the expletives in there. I had to really drop that F bomb on you. Because the most powerful skill is the skill to learn other skills. And if you can teach people another skill, that means you basically know the skill to learn other skills. Because you can teach people. So, um, if you do that for free, if you do that for the same amount of pay that you usually do it for, just have a nice casual chat with your boss about a little bit of a pay upgrade. Just because being a trainer is a very valuable thing to be in the workplace, and don't let anybody let you think that it isn't. Like, oh, you're just training him, it's no big deal. Do not let people put those seeds of doubt into your mind. I swear to you, it is invaluable. If someone asks you and you're part-time to train someone who is full-time starting, I would be like, I would ask some questions first. I'm not gonna say don't do it. I would just ask some questions first. For example, how long am I supposed to train them? You know what I'm saying? Am I getting paid more? This is a very important question to ask. Is this going to be in my new job description? You know what I'm saying? All this stuff, really. Um, because your time is valuable. And don't let anybody ever tell you that your time is not valuable. Okay, I don't care who it is. Everyone's time has value. It's just the way they portray that value to you can sometimes be misconstrued. Right? Right? It's valuable for a different reason, but I know for sure mine is, which is why I use it here for myself in order to give back to my own community. Because I don't like the community that I'm in. So what happens when you don't like the community that you're in? Oh, well, I'm just gonna sit there and hate myself. No, we're gonna create our own. We are going to create our own. We're gonna pave our own way, and we're not gonna be inconsistent like these women I'm talking about. We're gonna be consistent. Try to post every day. I know I've missed a couple days, but we're at 32 subscribers, almost 50. And once we get there, we'll start streaming. We'll do some crazy stuff here. It'll be a fantastic time. So I hope you guys are along with me for this journey. We have 3 more types of women here that you need to stay away from. And I'm sorry I made this sort of like gendered here today, but it is what it is. We have to be a little sexist sometimes. It's just like everyone's a little racist. Everyone's a little sexist. Everyone's a little racist. Everyone's a little toxic masculine, So the next one we have here is the weekend warrior woman. We all know. The girls who go out to the clubs, party all night, do their thing, It is what it is. They have their fun. But we all know where the fun leads. And of course, people don't go. Or people don't go. People do go to the clubs to get fucked. But it's usually not women. Women usually go to the clubs to get attention. Get attention and get validation. Like, do I look good in this dress? You don't know. It's not like everybody looks at me and says I'm amazing every time I'm out. I need to go out there and get some more eyes. Here we go. Here we go. Like, I don't know what happens, dog. It's I swear to God, it's like water is the attention that we give them. You know what I'm saying? It's flavorless. You put it on them, it dries off in 3 seconds. You know what I'm saying? It don't make no sense. It's so devalued as far as what women appreciate by it. You know, seeing eyes, getting male attention, because every woman gets it. You don't even have to be very attractive. You can be like a 5 and up to get it. And it's gotten from like every guy, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're a guy that doesn't immediately turn to a girl and give her all your validation and attention as soon as you see her, you're probably gay or a cream of the crop, you know what I'm saying? So remember that, guys. The most annoying thing about these weekend warrior women, and then if you've gotten one, you know this, is the least amount of attention you show them will be always the most attractive. If you give them 1% of your attention, they're gonna go completely wet for you. They're gonna drown in the panties for you. And you have to intentionally do this, but it has to be natural. It has to be natural. You can't just be like, I'm trying to ignore you. Of course you have to try to ignore her, because she's fucking hot as shit, usually. But if you're actually not attracted to her, that's crazy, because that's the most insane cheat code, which is terrible, but it is what it is. The weekend warrior women you have to stay away from, because they are just they're attention whores. What can I say, man? They're attention whores, and you don't want an attention whore. You know what an attention whore is gonna do? We're laying up in her house. It's 7 a.m. and I said I was gonna leave when I woke up. I woke up and then I'm okay. I'm gonna leave. You know what she's doing? Honey, please, you can stay a little bit longer. You don't have work today. You just say, I'll make you breakfast. We can watch this. Oh, you were saying you wanted to watch the. Bitch, come on now. I know what I have to do today. I know what I have to do today. I have my workout. I have my videos. I have my gaming. I have a whole fucking setup. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be inconsistent. Okay? I have a fucking life. And the attention whore doesn't want anything from you besides your attention. If you're not with her, you're texting her. If you're not texting her, you're with her. You know, if you're at work, you know, you're sending FaceTimes to her. You know, if you're over here driving, you gotta be on Snapchat FaceTime. You know, like every time needs to be spent with her. You don't want a weekend warrior woman, because she won't get it from you, she'll get it from someone else. And on top of all this attention she's getting from you, she probably is getting it from someone else. Because it's a drug to them, man. It's fucking drugs. Jesus Christ, they can't get enough. It's crazy. It's absolutely bonkers, honestly. And the sooner you realize this, that it will never be enough for these types of women, then the sooner you can get out and just stay away and just be like, well, I don't need that. I don't need that. And then the other one of the last ones, this is going to be hard pill to swallow, is the hangs out with friends every week. And the reason why I say this is because you could have the most perfect angel, Snow White, darling little girl. Okay, I don't want to say little girl. It sounds weird when I say that like that. Anyways, you can have a perfect girl, and she could hang out with her friends every week, and they could just be feeding her thoughts about you, feeding her bullshit. All of her friends, she may be perfect, but one of her friends may be a weekend warrior. One of her friends may be submissive. One of her friends may lack some secure submission. One of her friends may be an inconsistent woman. One of her friends may have pair bonding problems. You see where I'm going with this? And all that outside influence is just poison to her. It constantly leaks damage. You know, they may not directly attack her, but over here she's taking 10 points of damage randomly, 10 points of damage randomly, 10 points of damage randomly. So with that poison on her, eventually she'll turn into something you don't recognize. And you'll be like, where the fuck did this even come from? What is happening? She was the perfect girl. Hanging out with friends every week, especially if they're other girls. Now, if they're other guys, sure. But the thing is, every girl has orbiters. It's a really sad thing in the West. But every girl has orbiters, and you can't really get that jealous of a guy there, because if he's been there for a while, that means he's just respectful. That means he's just respectful, and she literally doesn't want him. Because I mean, if he's been there for that long, he's definitely attracted to her, but she don't want him. And of course, that can still go bad because if you fuck up, you know, dude's right there. I actually think having guy friends is kind of good. It keeps you in shape, you know what I'm saying? Because if he's treating her well, you know, you can kind of go off of him and be like, what is he doing? Maybe I should take not notes, but you know, just take stock of what he is doing, and maybe do the opposite. Maybe do something similar. Maybe do something adjacent. But it's good just to see how she interacts with other men. The problem is when there's other women, all they do is gossip, dog. All they do. When she's with a guy, she'll probably talk to you about him, but he probably won't talk to her about other girls. Unless he's with a girl, unless he has a girlfriend, then he'll talk to her about him. But you know, guys don't fucking do that. So you don't need to worry about that. But girls, when she's talking to her girls, she'll talk to you about everything about you. About your dick size, what you said to her, did you make breakfast, you didn't give her money for this, all that, and you know what they're gonna say back to her? Oh girl, you're right, you're the best, oh you right, you deserve better, you know, you deserve amazing, he should treat you like this, he should do this for you, you're amazing, so he should do this for you. It's all gonna be geared towards her on her side, because they're friends with her, they're not friends with you, unless you make friends with them, then of course, you could shift the dynamic, but you see where I'm going here? It's an uphill battle. You don't want to go into a fight that is basically a raid boss solo. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna have all these friends, you know, let me get my own friend group. You know what I'm saying? Let me hang out with them every week, and then we'll fight the raid boss together. We'll click up. You know what I'm saying? But all this solo shit is bad. So I'd say it makes sense if you have your own clique and they have their own clique and then you combine them. That's what it makes sense. But you can't be a loner and jump in to this giant group of people who hang out every other week. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, that's what plenty people do. You know what I'm saying? I need new friends. And you jump into a friend group, right? But I say the dynamic definitely changes when you start dating one in the friend group first, and then, you know, they're just all hanging out and you're just the person who is making someone submit. You know, you see how that sounds? You're just coming in here and you're basically tying a leash around one of the girls and taking her away. How does that look to the rest of the friend group? That looks fucking weird. Right, so obviously they're gonna have some misconceptions about you, of course, and you're gonna have an uphill battle to fight. And just like I said, bro, all these other types of women can easily influence them to be that type of woman. If you have a girl who's super great, doesn't go out all the time, super introverted, she's exactly what you want, and she hangs out with a bunch of weekend warrior women, bro, she's secretly a weekend warrior woman. I swear to you. If she's not, she is some nights. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a mob mentality thing, and it happens to all of us. So you can't be mad at it. Of course not. Everyone in the human race, they all just kind of follow things. You know, they just kind of follow what's normal. And if you're one of the people that doesn't, I applaud you. You know what I'm saying? I probably can't hang out with you because I'm also one of the people that doesn't. So, you know, I can't follow you. I'm doing my own thing usually. But I applaud you because taking that step is not only dangerous, is not only anxiety reducing, but it also makes everyone turn, look at you, and judge you even more harshly. So good luck, my friend. If you are not a follower, good fucking luck, man. It's not easy. It's not easy, and I don't see myself doing it any other way. But it is not easy. And the last one we're gonna talk about here today is the career woman. As we're finishing off things here, we got a little bit of time to wait for the bag to be made. But while we wait, the career woman is what I will talk about for sure, for sure. So the reason why you want to stay away from the career woman, this is a girl that is very dedicated to what they're doing in work. They're basically a slave to the government. They love their job and their job loves them, quote unquote. You know, they do a lot for it, and it gives back in a way that they appreciate. And they're constantly growing through the corporate ladder. You know, everything they talk about is about work. They're working, they're focused. They're trying to make it out of the slave grind and the patriarchy. The reason why you don't want to focus on them is because it's kind of a reason why you don't want to focus on the many past sexual partners kind of girl. Because it's never going to be enough. The career woman has probably seen a lot of jobs. They've probably seen a lot of guys. They've probably seen a lot of personalities just from the results of having to have a career. Now, of course, girls are relationship focused in general, right? We know this. They're the relationships focused gender. But in a job, think about it. How do you usually progress further in a career? Yes, yes, that's right, my friend. You fuck a lot of bitches. No, I mean, sorry. You talk to a lot of people, right? Right? Exactly, exactly. So, talking to a lot of people, shaking a lot of hands, and coming across a lot of bigwigs who can talk a lot of good game is basically how you come up in life, as well as networking, right? Just networking in general. So you think this girl who has networked and talked with so many people, so many nice faces, so many different types of individuals who are competent, kind, conscientious, you know what I'm saying? She just has a higher degree of standards. And the problem with these standards is that she's a career woman. So guess what the standards are going to do? They're going to raise along with her income level. Okay? Okay, you see where I'm going here? And the thing is, the career woman is going to have needs that will constantly need to be raised. Needs will never be met, really. The goalpost will be changed constantly here. You know this. So essentially what I'm getting at here is dating a career woman is like a toxic workplace relationship. And this is the workplace where you do literally everything right all the time and are given no credit. You're given the same pay. You're getting laid off. And this actually happened to my mom's fiance not too recently. So I think it was last year. He got laid off. He was one of the best employees there. Everyone loved him. People were calling him by name. He got the best work done. He'd been there for 6 years. They laid the dude off. They laid the dude off because the company was losing money, and they needed different funding and stuff like that. So they had to do the obvious thing when the company loses money and they need funding because AI is taking over everything and we don't need as many jobs. They start firing people. Who are you gonna fire? The guy who does the easiest work, has the easiest job. You know what I'm saying? The guy who does the most good things. But basically, they look to fire the guy who's not going to cause the most trouble when he gets fired. The guy who's not going to cause problems when they leave. And if you are dating a career woman, there's no way you can win because if you're the kind of guy that doesn't cause problems, you're gonna get walked over and probably cheated on. If you're a guy that does cause problems, then you're just gonna be rejected and thrown to the side, tossed away like a used condom. So that's why the career woman isn't necessarily the best choice. It can work, of course, if you're a career guy. Like I said before, if you're both elevating in the same direction, of course. Of fucking course. I'm not saying you can't make it work with someone at your job. But be careful, guys. That's the main thing here. Be careful. Stay away from things we don't need. Everyone subscribe. Have a good day. I will see you next time. Item bags. Love. Peace.